Hello Internet, Mike 5Gzer here with one of my rare video commentaries. Gonna be playing Far Cry 3 multiplayer team deathmatch on Beachhead. I'm playing this, it's my first match where I'm actually playing with another player in a party. It's gonna be TwoTiming, a family member of mine. And it's also going to be my first match after the 1.03 patch for PS3 that just came out. So I figured I'd do a commentary about that and also maybe point out some things about the multiplayer for people that are new to the game, or maybe they haven't tried multiplayer yet. Just try to give some tips and things like that on my experience with the game. Important thing I wanted to bring up with the 1.03 patch notes is it says it fixed the invisible player glitch.
Stand your ground.
And it's kind of hard to prove. I haven't personally seen myself anybody make a video on YouTube for it, and I thought about making it myself, but I was always just a theory, but about enemy players being invisible, because sometimes you'd be playing and
Let's go.
it's like you would get shot in the front by somebody that you swear wasn't there, but maybe you didn't see him, because this game in multiplayer, for the enemies, it will put their name above their head. If you could see just a little portion of their body, but sometimes I just assume that with the way players may be standing behind cover, if I can only see like the top of their scalp or something like that, maybe it won't render their name, that type of thing. So I'd always give them the benefit of the doubt, and I know I've seen the invisible player glitch with my own teammates. It's really rare though, but sometimes on my own teammates you'd see they're invisible, but you could see their gun swaying about, running around the level, and you could still see their dot on the mini-map. But anyway, supposedly that invisible player glitch is fixed, which was hard to prove anyway. I didn't want to make a video of it because the way the kill cam works in this game, where it shows you a silhouette of what previously happened. So if they were invisible, you really wouldn't be able to tell because of the way the silhouette is rendered in the game, because it's still going to draw their silhouette there where they were standing when the actual bullet impacts that killed you happened. But anyway, on this gameplay, I am running around with the MS-16 rifle, which is just an M14 that they renamed. I have the Hunter's mod on it, which gives it that brown color. And the Hunter's mod decreases your sway and your recoil, but it also makes your magazine smaller. So to counteract that, for my weapon skill, I have fast reload on. And what I'm doing right there is I'm hitting select and marking enemy players, because another thing that this patch fixed is you now get rewarded for tagging enemies with the select button, so it'll put that little eyeball icon above their head, and your teammates can see that through walls. So that's nice, because that's one of the gripes I had in my other Far Cry videos that I've done, where I don't like tagging people because I don't get rewarded for it at all. I don't get any team skill for it or XP, but that seems to be resolved with this patch now. And for the players that are new to this game, or they're just bad at it, just going to give some tips on my experience with it. I think at the start of this match I am level 69, but if you look at the lower right hand corner as far as the HUD elements, that blue arc is your body armor if you have it equipped, the yellow arc is your health, and that partial pip at the top of the yellow arc, that is going to be your bonus health if a teammate does a battle cry for you. I think it's like a 40% boost in health. That'll refill slowly as the battle cry is activated. Of course on the map you can see the teardrop shape, so it's you can tell which direction an enemy is facing when they fire a weapon, or if you've got your scouts active. Of course there's decoy scouts in the game which will fake it, but for the people that are newer to the game, if you've got decoy scouts out, the decoy scouts will pulse on and off the mini-map, but they'll actually pulse out of sync with their real teardrops. So if you pay attention to that, you can usually narrow down where the actual enemy is hiding, because they'll be mixed in there with the decoy decoy enemy teardrops on the minimap. On the right-hand side of your minimap, you got the little 3-pip arc. That is your battle cries that you have selected. You have 3 different tiers. Unfortunately, the battle cries in this game, they don't stack like in Call of Duty. So if you build it up and you use the 3rd level tier, which I think for me I got the hallucinating gas on, you'll just lose all of your streaks. You'll just burn them all off. And you'll notice on the gameplay for the battle cries themselves, to build up these streaks, it goes up a little bit when you get a kill. It goes up a little bit when you get like a bonus, like a 3-kill streak, 5-kill streak, that type of thing. But the way to really build it up is to stick around with your teammates and do the battle cries. Because you do multiple battle cries, that gives you a lot of team skill points, which is what fills up those pips. And also reviving players gives you a lot of team skill points. So that's the kind of way they force you to try to do the team cooperation on this. However, there is a penalty to reviving teammates, so just be aware of that. You don't always want to revive your teammates, because unfortunately your teammate, he's sitting there like I'll be right here. If you're clinging to life, right there waiting for somebody to revive you, you see the way the kill cam works, you can't see the situation anymore, you can't see where the enemy is anymore. So maybe sitting there trying to force your teammate to revive you isn't the best thing, because you'll probably end up both getting killed again if that enemy is still there. So just be aware of that. But you do get a lot of team skill points for it, and it will build up your battle cry meter. But I think on this map I don't ever use anything in the tier 2 or the tier 3 bracket, because the way the map is designed. Because if you're going to drop like ordnance on the enemy, you want them all clustered together, and on this particular map it's going to be difficult to do where they're all bunched up together, because the spawns are actually really good in team deathmatch for this game. You're very, very rarely going to be spawned in harm's way, unlike Call of Duty. But if you play the Firestorm mode, you're always going to spawn in harm's way. So I don't personally play that game mode anymore because I hate the way the spawns work. Another thing with the battle cries, if you look at the right-hand side on your HUD, where that hourglass is right now on my screen, it'll have little soldier icons on there. And when you're in range where your battle cry can actually affect them, it will increase the number of soldier icons, so you know how many people you're going to affect with that battle cry. And here I mess up. I totally walked by that guy. Because I'm watching the minimap. I heard him shoot his rifle earlier, and I was looking for its dot on the minimap, and I ended up walking right by him because I'm not looking at the actual screen. But I'll come back here and I'll stab him. Alright, so now I get the scouts. Activate those. And with the battle cries, it might be worth it just to, if you can, like if you know you're, if you respawn, you're not near anybody, maybe switch over to your secondary weapon and run towards your teammates to get into a crowd so you get that bigger area effect thing. Right there I unlock the MS-16 Gold Skull emblem. All that means is just you maxed out the level on that particular gun.
They can't beat us!
So, a couple gripes I've had about this game. In general, I really love this multiplayer. I actually can't stand Black Ops 2 because of the way the spawns work, or should I say don't work. I had high hopes for that game because I like David Von der Haar and the guys at Treyarch and Balance used to do, but that crap is just UAVs and submachine guns now and just bad respawn. But anyway, back to Far Cry 3. With that, the couple gripes I've had with this game, the weapon mods, which are essentially your perks in this game, and then they'll also be the things that give you the camos on the guns. The weapon mods, they're random. You're just going to get those by decoding like memory cards, CD-ROMs, or hard drives when you do good at the end of a match. And if you want a certain mod, it's not like you can grind out trying to get it. It's totally random. It's pretty rare that it gives you duplicates, but you will get duplicates. And I know for the P416, which is just the M4 rifle, but a piston version of it, I had that gun for so long, and I've been using it as my primary weapon for so long, and I never got a weapon mod for it. I had unlocked like 40 different weapon mods and never got a single mod for that. So I'd run around with a stock 416 for a long time. So I don't like the way the weapon mods look. I think it's cool how it's got that social aspect with the mods. How you can, after you decode one, if you don't want one, you can give it away to somebody in your friends list, that type of thing. But, and then the other thing I don't like is the way ammunition is handled in this game. If you pick up another person's rifle, it will only have the same amount of rounds in the magazine as the rifle you swapped it out with. So eventually you are going to run out of ammo unless you have an empty gun, and then when you pick up a gun it will have 10 rounds inside the magazine. But on most of these automatic weapons, 10 rounds is barely going to get you a kill unless you get a headshot. So, and the other thing is, I haven't noticed if I've ever been able to pick up a teammate's weapon when they're down. I'm not sure you can. Someone can leave me a comment below, because I've never paid attention to it. I know you can pick up an enemy's weapon when they're down, but I've never noticed if you can pick up a teammate's weapon when they're down. Other gripe I have is, you can see right here, the revive icon. In other modern shooters, when you've got an icon on the screen, like if you're playing like Domination on Call of Duty, if you put your reticle over that icon, it should make it fade out so it's not blocking your view. But unfortunately in Far Cry 3, the revive icon constantly blocks your view, like you see right here. So I'm looking at my teammate, I'm like, is it a good idea to go revive him? I can't tell, because that revive icon might be blocking the enemy that's hiding right behind there. So one of the tactics people use in this game is you camp a down enemy who's sitting there trying to get revived, because you know it's hard for his teammates to see you behind that revive icon. So that's another little gripe I have with the game. The other thing is, for people that use the recurve bow in multiplayer, you only get 3 arrows total, but the other problem is, when you're out of ammo on that, with the recurve bow, it still shows an arrow in the bow, so it's hard to tell if you're like in a firefight or you're weapon switching a lot, that you're actually out of ammo unless you actually look at the ammo counter at the very bottom right corner, which, I don't know, I don't personally do it myself, because I'm always trying to, you know, keep my peripheral vision on the screen, watching out for an enemy. So other minor gripe on that. Another thing, as far as the 1.03 patch is, I played a couple matches with TwoTiming over the night, and I noticed that the stats never updated. It kept my stats exactly the same as when I started playing at the beginning of the night. So it didn't add any kills, didn't add any XP for me. At the end of the match, it's still counting me and still saying I'm leveling up and all that, but if you actually check your stats in the stat menu on the profile section in-game, or if you go to the Ubisoft website, it's still showing what my stats were when I actually started playing it before the patch came out. And also I downloaded the Android Outpost app for the game, where you can do a lot of your multiplayer management on it, as far as like, you know, decoding and checking your stats or your friend's stats, and that app doesn't work. I mean, one, depending on what you select, it'll keep crashing. But the other thing is, it's still showing my stats the same as online, where I'm level 69, which is what I was when I started playing this one. So it's not showing me ranking up or anything on the Android app. But anyway, here you're going to see my humiliation. I'm going to choose Punish.
Hey, thought you could use this.
I like this aspect of the game, how the top 3 players on the winning team get picked for that, and also how you get to choose what you do to the top scoring player on the enemy team. But other than that, I just wanted to do this quick commentary on this game, because I really like the multiplayer, and thought it was significant enough with the changes on the 1.03 patch. Although not perfect by any means. Like I said, the stats are broken. Matchmaking's still pretty bad for the people that play it. And but thanks for watching. Appreciate it.